Hi guys, welcome back to Caribbean J03. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today my sister will be doing pickled eggs, two different flavors, curry and beets. Guys, I can't wait to see it and I can't wait to taste them. So, Chair, the kitchen is all yours. And for all my new subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. And for my old subscribers, thank you. OMG, guys, the family is growing. Oh my God. I'm looking forward to get that 1,000. But anyway, one day at a time, right? Hi guys, the recipe for the spicy curry pickled eggs will be in part 2 of this video.
Hello, y'all. So I have 120 eggs that I need to pickle today, tomorrow, and well, whenever I get to the big one. So I have in here, I still have about 90 eggs among these three containers here. And I will be using this 128-ounce gallon, the 1 gallon jar.
You have to pull
Um,
up your camera a little bit up so they can see
okay.
this jar.
I'll be using this 1 gallon jar for, well, three of those. Each one holds 30 eggs. So I'll be using three of those to finish the rest of the 90 eggs. And then I'll be using the smaller 32-ounce wide mouth jars, this one, to put in about maybe 6 to 8 eggs each for my sister and my mother, because the other eggs are all mine. Sorry, couldn't resist that. And we'll be doing two pickles, two different types of pickles. One spice curry, and the other is pickle red beet eggs.
Okay.
Hello, all. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are and whenever you're watching this video. Today, I will be preparing pickled eggs, and I'm doing two types of pickled eggs, two flavors, I should say. One is going to be a spicy curry, and the other is going to be red beet pickled eggs, which I learned about and ate in Pennsylvania, and I absolutely loved it, loved it, loved it then. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that. But being true to my Caribbean roots, I am doing the spicy curry pickled eggs first. So I have measured out my ingredients as you saw previously. So I have a non-corrosive pot here, which is good for you to be able to do this because you're using mostly acidic stuff in terms of liquid. So I'm going to start with, and even though this is a metal pot, it is a stainless steel pot. So it is non-corrosive. So I'm starting with my vinegar. This is just 2 cups of plain white distilled vinegar. And then this is apple cider vinegar. And I will add some lemon juice later after I go and heat this up. I'm only doing enough to be able to fill two 32-ounce wide mouth jars that will have about 6 to 8 eggs in it. Hence the reason the amount of what I'm using in there. The amount of liquid in there should just be enough to be able to fill those 2 bottles with the eggs in it. Now I'm going to add some of my ingredients, not all of them, but just to let you know, I have some curry powder here that I've already roasted and some turmeric that I've already roasted as well. You want to toast those until they're fragrant, about 2 to 3 minutes or so. I did not toast my black peppercorns because I didn't want to toast them. And I didn't toast my allspice powder either, but you can toast them if you want to. I don't want the full 100% extra flavor for the allspice in there because allspice is very strong. So I chose not to do that, but you can certainly do it if you like the intense flavor. That said, I am going to add my salt to this. I am also going to add my sugar. Not much sugar because remember the apple cider vinegar has a little bit of sweetness to it. So I will add that as well. Now, if you look at my tray here, you see that I have a lot of dry, everything on here is dry. There's no fresh ingredients on here. So I am using my dry onion. This is not really minced onion, but anyways, my dry onion that I dehydrated. My sister will link the video to that somewhere where she normally links videos. So I'm going to put this in here because it's dehydrated. It needs to be reconstituted. So as the liquid simmer, this will be simmering in it as well to just get it reconstituted. So I'm going to put that in here. If you're using onion powder, then you don't need to put that in here as yet because it will pickle easily in the pickling juice when you put it in. So you can just add that to your jars. I'm also using dried minced carrots that we had cut up and dried myself. I dehydrated this. I don't know if my sister has a video. There might be a video. Oh, she said yes. So again, she will link that video for you. And even though I use a dehydrator, usually if you're just using your conventional oven, you just put it to the lowest setting on your conventional oven, the lowest setting on your oven, and tilt or leave the door open like a jar, just a little bit to allow a little bit of ventilation to occur. And then you will be able to dry your ingredients, whether it be fruits or vegetables that are wet, like tomatoes, onions, carrots, celery, and things like that, in your very warm conventional oven, just to the same degree as we would in our dehydrator. So there is no need for you to have an excuse to say that you're not going to dehydrate your food. Dehydration is a form of preservation so we don't waste food. Anyhow, so my sister just said that more space in the fridge. How so true. And freezer. So I'm not gonna put my black peppercorns in there just yet either, but I will put my bay leaf in there. So those will go in there. Now the rest of these ingredients are gonna be going into the jars once the liquids have simmered enough and the sugars have melted, the salt has melted, and all that goodness. Then we will you know what, I think I'll add another cup of apple cider vinegar to this, although I don't think I need it. But if I don't use it for this one, I can certainly use it with the red beet pickled eggs, so it won't go to waste, I promise you that. So let me get one more cup of apple cider vinegar. But if you don't have apple cider vinegar, also you can just use whatever vinegar you got, but make sure it's not seasoned vinegar. Okay, and there we go. So now I have 2 cups of cider vinegar and 2 cups of white distilled vinegar. So now I'm gonna go put this on the stove for it to simmer. Don't boil it. Don't let that boil. You just want it to simmer until the sugar and the salt have dissolved. Okay, hold on. That's my mother, y'all. She's enjoying the smell of the vinegar brine, but I'm not giving her any there for my eggs. So that said, let's mix all of our dry seasonings together. So this is some thyme, garlic powder, since I didn't use regular garlic, or whole garlic I should say, allspice. I didn't have allspice berries, so I have ground allspice, black pepper. This is a toasted turmeric, the toasted curry powder, and some ground hot pepper because I didn't have the chile de árbol, which is a better option. But I'm sure my family likes spice anyways, so I don't think they'll complain. I didn't put too much, and I didn't use my dried habanero peppers, so it will still be edible for them. And as you can see, this might look like a lot of seasoning, but remember, it has 6 to 8 eggs that it needs to get through and seasoned and all that good stuff. So I will put maybe 2 tablespoons each of this into each of those 32-ounce jars. Let me go get my jars, and I'll bring the brine. I ended up having to put the peppercorns into the that's hot, into the brine to cook along with the rest of the solid ingredients, because I didn't want to have to squash them. So I'd rather just get the natural flavoring of it out. Oh, hold on a second. All right, so as you can see, I brought over one very hot jar, and I'm going to put my eggs, I'm going to layer my eggs in there as best I can and see how many eggs I can get in there. I think I might be able to get, yeah, look at that, y'all. I got 3 on the bottom. I'm excited. Oh, the things that excite me. So I got 3, 5, 6 fit in there. I think I can fit more. Look at that, y'all. Oh, let's not get too excited. 7. Don't pack them in. Just set them in. There we go. I got 9. And try to make sure that you don't have any cracks in your eggs. So, I mean, this is okay, like that right there. Oops. Am I going to be at my 1 inch? What do you think, y'all? I want to give myself a good 1 inch headspace, right? I think I might be at my 1 inch. If I don't push my luck, I might just be at my 1 inch. Yep, I'm at my 1 inch. And I fit 11 eggs in there. 9, 10, 11. I fit 11 eggs in there. So I think somebody will need to go peel some more eggs. Not that she has a problem with that, because she eats 50% of what she peels anyways. No names being mentioned. No, of course not, dear. So I will add in my 1 tablespoon of seasoning in here. My second tablespoon of seasoning, right? So I got 2 more tablespoons left in my bowl here. I'll bring up my jar a little closer for you. And then I will pour in some lemon juice in there. As you can see here, I have a half a cup of lemon juice. So I'll put a 1/4 cup of lemon juice into each of the, sorry, I'm going to bring this pot over so you can see what I'm about to do. All right, there is my pot. And all of my goodness. So I'm going to pour my 1/4 cup of lemon juice. This is store-bought lemon juice. And I'm eyeballing a 1/4 cup. That's a 1/4 cup. So now I'm going to pour in my, I have a pour cup, the 1 cup pour cup, but I feel like I'm better off with the half cup pour cup that has the pour spout. All right, here we go. 1 bay leaf goes in there. Be cute. Put that down there. And we will fill this up as best we can. As you can see, some of my carrots and stuff are still on the top. So I will pour and pour.
Okay, my sister will be repeating this in a 32-ounce bottle.
So we want to make sure that the eggs are under the water. We do not want any eggs sticking up above the water. So I think what I'm going to do at this point is take this egg out. I'm going to take this egg out because I want to make sure that all the eggs are under the water. All right, so let's just stick with 9 eggs because I feel like I'm pushing my luck. Okay, we'll stick with 9 eggs. I'll put those 2 into the other ones. And then I'll add some more. I'll jiggy this up a little bit, as you can see here. And you see, as I jiggy it up, some of the eggs are coming to the top, see? And be careful how you press them in there, because you don't want to put a hole in those eggs. Let me just get my little pour spout back again so that I can put a little bit more of this liquid in here just to cover those eggs. Now, you know you have enough in there when you're at least at the half, at the and I gave myself the 1-inch headspace in there, and I am going to try and debubble. There's not much to debubble anyways. Now, if your egg is still floating on top there, what you can do is get some, get one little Ziploc bag, like one of those snack size Ziploc bag, and fill it with enough water to use as your weight to weight that down, to weight the eggs down. So I am going to get a small snack size Ziploc bag right now. If I can find one, I will help you. Okay, y'all. So I just poured out a little bit of the brining liquid that we had in here, and I fill a snack size bag with about a half a cup of just plain water, and sealed it and put it on top and use it as my weight. So I used one of these little baggies, and I filled it up to about here, which is the half cup mark. Oops, sorry, it helps to have it in the right direction. I filled it up to about a half cup mark like that, and sealed it out without the air, push out as much air as I possibly can, and put it in here. Just literally just put it on top of the eggs, weight it, and to use as my weight. And as you can see, this is where my liquid, if only you can see it, you can see this is where my liquid is at the, I'm going to tilt it so you can see. There we are. That's where my liquid is for my 1-inch headspace. And all my eggs are under the water. Ooh. All my eggs are under the water, under the brining liquid, as you can see there, which is what you want. So that said, let me get my top, the lid, and the ring, and I will put those on. So I got my lid and my ring. And what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to be doing this for, I'm not sure if it's going to be long term with my sister. I'm not sure about that. But anyhow, I'm still going to just wipe off the tops because, again, remember I did put sugar in that brine. So I'm going to wipe it off with a little bit of vinegar. And then this way, we'll make sure that that is nice and clean under the lid and under the ring. So let's just get a little bit of vinegar on my paper towel here. And I'm going to wipe this off. Check that. Turn it, wipe it off. Again, see, that's why we need to wipe that off. As you can see there, that had to come off, right? So I'm going to turn this over and do that one more time. Make sure that I get everything off and there. And again, it seems to be, this seems to be the little, look at that. That's probably where I had poured it off. All right, let's make sure we get it all off then. Okay. All right. So that's good. So now we throw that out. And then we put our ring on. Try not to touch anything else. And then I'm going to seal this properly. This is an airtight container. So I will let this seal properly and put this in the fridge for about 7 days or 2 weeks. It's up to you. Remember, the longer it sits, the better it tastes. So I'm going to let this sit in the fridge for 7 days. Once this comes back to room temperature, I will let this sit in the fridge for 7 days, and then that will mellow out and starts to cure the eggs that are in here. Once it's in the fridge for 7 days and you tilt it, make sure you tilt it at least once or twice while it's in there, and then you should be fine to have it on the shelf. So it can go on the shelf after it sits in the fridge for at least a good 7 days or so. So you can see how they all of that good stuff sits on the bottom. You want to take it out and jiggy it up and, you know, get that good stuff to make friends with the rest of the eggs. See? So you want to make sure you get all this good stuff that's sitting on the bottom. So you want to shake that up at least once or twice or every day if you want to. And then this way, your eggs will all get the same amount of seasoning everywhere. And there you are. That's that. So there is your pickled eggs. After 7 days or 2 weeks, I usually leave it for 2 weeks of being in the fridge and making sure that the eggs remain under the water. You can take it out, bring it back to room temperature, and then it's going to be stable enough to leave on your shelf. And I think that's that for that one. So now we move on to the beets, the red beet pickled eggs, which works the same way. We're just going to, again, heat up the vinegar and all that good stuff. And then we will put in the eggs into the jars, the warm jars, by the way. Warm jars, put the eggs in it, put your seasoning, and then put maybe a layer of beets on the bottom, a layer of beets in between, or just use your beets to put all on top to weight it down instead of having to use that Ziploc baggie, whichever works for you. I am going to put at least one layer of beets on the bottom. I'll put one in the middle, and then I'll put two on top because I'm using sliced, unsalted, no salt beets from a 15-ounce can of beets. So that said, moving on to the beets, the beet pickled eggs. Okay, y'all. So now I am going to do the red beet pickled eggs. So first thing we're going to start with is to start our brine, and I'm using the same pot that I use for the curried spice brine because they're almost just about the same ingredients. Almost. The liquid ingredients are all the same. I lied. The beet juice is different. Anyway, so that's apple cider vinegar. And I'm going to add the reserved beet juice. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful, isn't it? And I will have a little bit of the lime juice to put in, lemon juice to put in there at the end. So that liquid needs to be counted into this. So I will also add, since I'm using my dried onions instead of the fresh onions, I dried these myself. My sister will link the video in there somewhere for you. So there's no anti-caking agent or anything on this. So I will add this so that it can get rehydrated in the hot liquid. And I am also going to add my salt. That's just a little bit of salt. I will add a little bit of sugar. bay leaves, 2 of those, and this is about 12 whole cloves. And I'm going to bring this up to a boil and then turn it down. I'm going to add a little bit more because I need to do 2 bottles. I will eventually need to do another bottle of the red beet. So the red beet brine. So I'm going to just do a little bit more and add a little bit more apple cider vinegar to this, or maybe I'll just make the brine again. Yeah, I think I'll just make the brine again because I really don't like doubling recipes. I always feel like something gets lost in translation. So I will now take this to the stove and bring it to a boil. And once it comes up to a boil, then I will turn it down to a simmer for 5 minutes. In the meantime, I will come back and start packing the eggs and the beets into the hot jars. Alrighty, y'all. So I have my hot jar and I heated up a little bit of the beets that I'm going to be putting on the bottom of my jar here, just to put a nice little layer down there. And I'm going to heat up the others so that it doesn't um, reduce the temperature of the entire solution here. And I will layer in my eggs, and I will try my very, very best to fit them all in there. And oops, try not to break any. In the meantime, though, I'm going to pour this lemon juice. It's going to be going in here. Actually, I should probably put the rest of them in there first. Just trying to do 1 layer of 3. And then I'm going to go put some of this, some of the rest of the sliced beets that I have here. I'm going to go put them into the microwave again so that I could warm them up just a little bit. Just a teeny bit, because like I said, I don't want to drop the temperature of the I don't want to drop the temperature of the liquid, which we took so much time to cure, to heat up and stir and do all that loveliness. So rather than messing that up, you don't want to do that. So I'm gonna go put these into the microwave to warm up just a little bit, and then I'm gonna go back to, hopefully, hold on, I need to cover that. I didn't know that beets pop when you put them in a microwave. They actually pop like chicken skin, which I didn't know that. But you learn something new every day, don't you? And I'm using 1 15-ounce can of sliced beets, no salt, because I didn't find the whole beets, which is what my recipe usually asks for. That's only when I'm using the large gallon size bottles. Then I would use whole beets, because again, that's a whole lot of eggs. Whereas this jar is only going to use about 9 eggs. Fits in these jars really nicely. So I will add in some of these ones. And then my last 3 eggs are going to fit right in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of these beets to weigh them down. So I'll just put a nice layer of beets on top, a nice heavy layer of beets on top, so that we can use that as our weights. I'm going to pour that little bit of juice down there. All right, let's get some nice heavy layer. I can put a nice layer because I still have enough space in there to oops, I have enough space in there to keep my 1 inch head space. Okay, I think that should be good. Let's see what happens after I put the liquid in. Put one more down here. Actually, how about I just pour the rest of this beet juice down there? And then I'll pour in my lemon juice, which I also warmed up a bit. And then I am going to pour in the beet juice. Well, technically, not the beet juice. I'm going to put in my garlic, which I should have put in earlier. But that's okay. It will still go down once I pour the other liquid in. That should have been at the bottom, by the way. I sort of forgot to put it in. So now I'm going to have to scoop out some of this liquid so that I can get the garlic down like that. And the onions and cloves and all this good stuff that needs to get down there. Oops, I need liquid. Let's get some liquid down here. You don't want to pack it in too tightly. You just want to get as much as you possibly can in there. It's okay, I can try to make some room there. Get some of this good stuff down there. There we are. Alright, I see some liquid going down to the bottom. We hope. I'm trying not to squash those eggs because you don't want to put a hole in the eggs after working so hard to get them in there. Most certainly don't want to squash them now. All right, I'm going to move that over so I can pour some of this loveliness down there. And get some of the onion bits and juices and stuff down there. If I was doing more than one, I guess I probably would have used my funnel. But apparently I'm trying to be a little more conscientious. Look at this. That's a lot of space that still needs to be filled. And look down there. So we're going to get down there. And I'm going to try my very best, like I said, not to pull this one up. There we go. Much better. Let's get these down there. I think what I'll do is I'll pull out some of these beets for now. Put it into that cup. I won't mess up the other ones. I'll pull out some of these beets and then I'll put them back. I have a smaller amount of room that I'm working with. I'll put them back when I'm done filling the jar. Oops, let's get the garlic off. Let's get all this garlic off. Get that down to the bottom of the jar. Aha, there we are. Okay, now. Oh my goodness, they're already taking on color. Good heavens. All right. Let's see this. Get this down here. I actually never did such a little amount before. Oh, listen to that bubbling down there. Oh, Lord. Okay. I'm going to use that because I'm afraid I might mess something up with that. So let me just get a spatula and go down the sides and try and do a little bit of debubbling while I'm at it. Ha! Do some debubbling, see? All the debubbling that I could do. And there we are. I see a bubble down there. All right. Let's see if we can get some more bubbling happening, de-bubbling happening down there. Maybe I can take out an egg. What do you think? Let's take out an egg. Since I can. Ah, only because I can. There we go. One egg out. Two eggs out. Oops, I think I cracked an egg. That one looks like it has a little crack in it. Okay. All right. I think I got my eggs happy. All right. Now, let's get my eggs back in there. I think I'll have to take out some of those other pickles. The pickles. Look at the pickles. Really? The beets that are in here. So allow my eggs to get in there first. And then whatever space I have, if I have any space left over, then I will put my leftover beets in there. But for right now, my eggs takes priority, I should say. I'll just take these out and then try and fit my eggs in there first. See, if I had my big jars, my big jars hold everything. They really do. Okay. Now, let's get the beets back in there. I have one massive beet that I can put straight across. And there we are. And you can then add some more beets to make sure that there is enough liquid that will be above these so that the eggs can be under the water. Okay, I think I can do one more beet right there. Make sure that they're under the water. Make sure all the beets are covered. All the eggs, sorry, make sure all the eggs are covered. Okay, I do believe that's that. Oh, there's a massive bubble right there. You see that bubble? But once I shake it up, I should be able to get that bubble back. That bubble up. Maybe this one might be able to get down there and not cause any mess, any havoc with my eggs, so that I can get that bubble up from there. There we are. Can I get it? Yeah, I think I did. Now, let's get the eggs back down there where they're supposed to be. Now, debubbled. I got that bubble up. Yes, I did. Alrighty then. So, I'm going to try and put just a little more of this lovely sauce, brine liquid, down here. Take it right up to my 1-inch mark. Yep, I think I'm right at my 1-inch mark here. Oops, I'm making a mess. Okay, now I gotta clean off this. I'll clean off the top of the mouth of the jar with a little bit of vinegar and then seal it up. And after this is sealed, we have to put this in the fridge for 2 weeks, and we're just going to be rotating it, like, I want to say maybe a couple times, if you will. I'll just wipe this off with clean paper first. Okay. Then I'm going to get paper towel here, and I'm going to wet this with vinegar, just a plain distilled vinegar, and wipe off the mouth of that jar and seal it up. We should be good to go. See, that's how we need to do that. You don't want that under there. Okay, that's not bad. And then this gets covered. And again, just fingertip tight. And here is our beet pickled eggs. Red beet pickle eggs. And there we are. So this will go into the fridge, like I said, for about maybe a week to 2 weeks. I prefer to keep it in there for 2 weeks. Just shake it up every other day or so, or once a day, whatever works for you. Because what you want is to distribute those lovely stuff from the bottom. See, all of this goodness that's on the bottom there. You want to be able to get the liquids down there. See, you want to get that liquid down there. All the way down. Make sure the eggs are still covered, and they should be, because the beets are up there. So the eggs are, we're using the beets as our weights to cover the eggs. So as you can see, the eggs are still covered with the brine solution. So that's it. If you do your brine or your pickled eggs any other way or any different way, and if you feel like you want to share, please feel free to share. I will happily try it. If you try any of these pickling egg options, feel free to share and let us know, and we will happily try it, because I would definitely try it. I love eggs and I love pickles. Why not put the two together and have pickled eggs? So let us know if you try the spicy curry or curry spiced pickled eggs, or you try the red beet pickled eggs, and let us know, and we'll try it. Thank you. Enjoy. Okay, y'all, here are the beet pickle eggs in the large bottles, the 1 gallon bottles. I am going to refrigerate these for 2 weeks, and I will turn them every day, and after that they will be shelf stable.